Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to a morning stream. We haven't been able to do a morning stream in quite some time, so I figured it'd be a good idea. We're here, and we should have took our owl and our moon off the screen and replaced those, but we are here with a morning stream nonetheless. It is about, what time is it? Almost 9 a.m. my time, so bright and early. We're gonna send out a quick notification. There we go. And we're going to hang out. We're going to wait for some people to get in here who want to see us live. We're going to be talking about panic attacks specifically this morning. I feel like we don't talk about those probably as much as we should here on the channel. We tend to focus on sensitization in general, right? Tired nerves in general. I don't think we do a whole lot of videos or a whole lot of streams on panic attacks solely. So maybe it's time to squeeze one of those in there. I know when you're dealing with sensitization, that panic doesn't always come into play, but you can experience inner panic, or what Dr. Claire Weeks called inner or near panic, and you can at times experience full-blown panic. So I feel like it would be good to have a stream on that, just in case anyone out there encounters that on their journey. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's wait, let some people get in here, because this is definitely an unexpected stream at this time. Kay's first to chat. What's up, Kay? Good morning, sunshine. Love you. Madison, what is up? Much love. How you doing? So yeah, unexpected stream, so we'll definitely give people some time to get in here before we jump into it. We'll definitely give people a few minutes at least, and while we're waiting on that, I'll send out some more notifications so we can rally the troops here, so to speak. Ghost, what's up, Ghost? I know it's like the perfect time for you. What time is it for you exactly? Okay. I'm also gonna drop some links real quick in the chat while we wait. Normally I am passed out asleep by now, but like I said, it's been a hot minute since we've been able to do a morning stream, so we gotta do a morning stream every now and then, right? Let's see here. All right. links. 6 p.m. right now. It's perfect. Love it. Okay. Grab that. Hope everybody's having a great morning. As you can probably tell, I'm a little tired, but we're gonna have a great stream nonetheless. Copy that link. There we go. Also, guys, we are on that road to 11K. We're not far off, man. We're not far off. We're gaining subs every single day. Let me get an exact count on that. I know we're close. We're like 400 off, 300 off, something like that. We're at 10,622. We've gained half a hundred subs just in this month alone, so let's keep growing, man. Let's keep growing. I do appreciate you guys interacting with the channel, the shorts, everything like that. Channel interaction really does help boost the channel, helps us grow. So let's see. How long we been in here? Couple minutes. We can go ahead. I think we can go ahead and start this one off, right? We can go ahead and start this one off. That won't hurt anything. So before we get started, I just want to say, if you are one of our new subscribers here, I know the streams look intimidating sitting in at an hour long here, an hour long there. Keep in mind that we get to the point of the stream within the first 10-15 minutes usually of the stream. So if you're new here, don't think you have to sit through an hour long stream just to get to the point. The point of the stream is usually started and finished within the first 10-15 minutes, so keep that in mind. The rest of the time we're just hanging out with chat and pretty much doing a Q&A, so keep that in mind if you're new here. I've been making it a point to say that. But anyway, let's jump into the point of today's stream, this morning stream. Greet your panic attacks. That's what we're going to be talking about this morning. So if you are new to this acceptance thing. That probably sounds like one of the strangest things you have ever heard, right? In fact, that probably goes against everything that you've ever been taught or self-taught as far as panic is concerned. How could someone possibly tell me to greet my panic attacks, right? They're very intense, they're very strong. You know, what is a panic attack? Very intense, very strong emotion and feeling. A lot of people chalk it up as maybe they're going crazy or about to lose their mind. Some people chalk it up as about to die some sort of physical death. And the reason people come to these irrational beliefs about panic is because they are so strong, right? It's why it's called a panic attack. Now, it is different from sensitization. Sensitization means you have very tired nervous system. You're probably dealing with higher levels of anxiety and triggers over thoughts. Pretty much on a daily basis, right? A consistent basis, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that is panic attacks. Panic attacks is what comes in waves. They are the peak of the experience, you could say. Very intense bouts, and they're usually very short-lived. But back to the point, as I was saying, they're so intense, and they tend to be so intense that people come up with all these irrational beliefs about their panic attacks, and they do the exact opposite of greeting their panic attacks. They run for the hills, right? They run for the hills. They freeze up, or they fight, or they do something negative in reaction to their panic attacks. And again, it's because they are so intense. So who can really blame you, right? Who can really blame you? When you're experiencing a full-blown panic attack, chances are you are terrified, and you're supposed to be. That's what a panic attack is. It is your body's and your mind's way of saying, holy crap, 5-star red alert alarm here, right? We are in danger. Now, you're obviously not in any real danger. We need to prove that to the brain. So the opposite of what you've been doing for so long with your panic attacks, which is fight, freeze, run, whatever your conditioned negative reaction is, we've got to completely and totally flip that on its head, right? We cannot continue to go away from panic. We've got to go towards panic. Because here's the thing about panic. It cannot thrive, and you really could apply the same advice to sensitization, but understand sensitization is more of a journey. A panic attack is, short-lived periods, but you could apply the same advice. We have to go towards panic. We have to greet panic. It is the only way over panic. If you spend your entire life afraid of this very natural, although intense, very natural bodily protection mechanism, right, you will never lose your fear of it. And the only way, we all know that the only way to lose fear of anything is to experience it, and as Dr. Claire Weeks said, see it right through. So you really have to start to greet your panic attacks. Now that means, we're gonna get into a little bit of detail on how that works, how that happens. That means in the moment, right? And everybody here probably knows the moment that I'm about to describe. The moment where it starts to just come on, right? It starts to come on, you're starting to feel it. You're starting to feel it in the body. It's very intense feelings. You're starting to experience all these changes, and they're really just miraculous changes, right? The changes that the body goes through during a panic attack is quite mind-blowing, and it's quite intense. But you start to feel it. Most people go the route of, oh crap, panic attack, right? That rhymes a little bit. Oh crap, panic attack. They do not greet their panic. You need to be greeting your panic with an attitude of, okay, panic is here, we're going to see what happens, right? So do you see how we're switching from a second fear mindset? If panic survives and thrives on your negative reaction to it, right, do you see how we're flipping that reaction upside down? Instead of going away from it, we're becoming curious. We're saying, okay, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome, and let's see what happens. How many times in your life have you experienced a panic attack and said, hello, welcome, let's see what happens? If you've been practicing, hopefully you've practiced that ever since you've heard the advice. If you haven't been practicing, chances are every time you experience these intense feelings of panic, you come at it with a attitude of, oh no, panic, right? We've got to flip that reaction on its head. There's only one way you'll ever, right? I can't stress this enough. There's only one way you will ever be able to overcome your fear of panic, and that is to greet it. Get curious about it. This is actually a technique that I've read a lot about. It's a technique that I practiced in my journey quite a bit, and that's to get curious about it. Instead of saying, I don't want this to happen and I need to avoid this happening, you could say, I want to see where this takes me. I want to see where I go with this. If I was to lay down my arms and completely embrace these intense feelings, what would happen, right? You get curious. You greet the panic. You say, okay, panic's here. Let's see where this goes. Let's see what happens. Do you see how this is a totally different approach than what you're used to? This is a totally different approach, in regards to running away from your panic. I don't want this panic. I don't want to experience this. This is intense. I got to make this stop. Do you see how that's just fear on top of fear on top of fear? If you switch to more of a curious, okay, hello, greet the panic, let's see where this is going to take me, get curious with it and see where it goes, see where it leads you. Right? Start to play around with it a little bit and say, okay, panic is here. Let's run towards it, not away from it. Now, a lot of people hearing that think, well, that sounds like a death wish. You'll never know whether or not it's a death wish. I can spoil the ending for you and tell you it's not a death wish. It's a key to freedom over panic. I can spoil the ending for you, but you yourself will never personally learn that unless you're willing to take that chance. Now, you've really got two choices. You can spend the rest of your life every time panic, during your recovery, every time panic kind of pokes its heads up, you can spend the rest of your life in this cycle where you don't heal, you don't teach yourself to get over panic, you're running away from it. Or you can take the route of, okay, I've spent weeks, months, and years not being willing to see where this goes and not being willing to see what lies on the other side of this panic. It's time I turn this rock over and see what happens. Right? How are you ever going to lose your fear of panic if you don't see it right through, as Dr. Claire Weeks called it? If you don't know what's on the other side of panic because you've never allowed the panic to happen and you think, oh, well, I rushed to safety so I'm good, then you're always going to be rushing to safety so you can be quote unquote good, right? We've got to start to greet the panic. It's your only way to overcome the fear of it. Now, some people, this is a common mistake, they will hear that and think, okay, I'm going to greet the panic, and then they try to greet the panic, and because the panic doesn't leave immediately, they go back to the bad habits. They go back to the bad, mentality of let's get away from this. Let's do whatever we can do, compulsions, coping methods, the list goes on, to try to get this experience to stop, and then they bluff themselves into thinking that because they did that compulsion, because they did that coping method, that they're safe now, right? And so because they've entered the mentality of, okay, I'm safe now because I did this and I did that, then they start to calm down. But see, they'll never learn. They'll never learn what's on the other side of that panic. They'll always fear the next bout and the next bout and the next bout. You'll spend your recovery afraid of what's to come if you don't see it right through, and that means to see it right through with that accepting attitude, with the attitude of greeting it, right, going towards it rather than away from it, with the attitude of no coping methods, no compulsions, let's just see what happens, right? You will never know what lies on the other side of panic unless you go there, if you go all the way and you see it right through. So you've really got to start greeting your panic, right? You got to stop turning your back towards it. You got to stop reaching for this and reaching for that in order to try to make it go away and to soothe yourself, and because you'll spend a very long time having to do that. How are you going to lose your fear of it, right? So what sounds worse to you guys? Having to spend your life using compulsions and coping methods and always looking over your shoulder, right? Nobody likes that feeling. Always looking over your shoulder, afraid of the next bout of panic. When's the next bout of panic going to come? I can't do this because it might make me panic. I can't do that because it might make me panic. I can't do any of these things without this coping method, without this compulsion. You see how you start to get so limited, right, guys? You start to get so limited in what you can and can't do in your life because you're so afraid of that next bout of panic. Some might even say that that's the reason behind your sensitization, which is debatable. A lot of people end up sensitized because they're just so afraid of the way that they feel that they're always so tensed up and looking over their shoulder about what's to come. What about this next bout of panic and this next one and this next one? And each time they experience panic and they do the coping methods, they do the compulsions, they think to themselves, wow, I just barely got away by the skin of my teeth on that one. So they keep themselves in a constant state of stress, a constant state of looking over the shoulder, a constant state of worry. Do you see how we're coming full circle here? A constant state of worry and second fear. How could you relax and start to cut that worry out if you're constantly worried about the next bout of panic? So if you find yourself guilty of this, if you struggle with I'm afraid of what's to come. I'm afraid of the next bout of panic. And I'd say most of you are in that boat, right? So if you're guilty of this, understand that this is probably not the most pleasing answer you could ever receive, but the only way that you're going to be able to stop looking over your shoulder during your life and constantly worried about the next bout of panic is to lose your fear of panic. How do you lose your fear of panic? By greeting it every chance that you get. And by greet, I mean to welcome. And by welcome, I mean to go towards and not away from. By welcome, I mean to face and not turn away. That means no coping methods, no compulsions, no running to this safety or that safety, but instead saying, hello, welcome, let's see what happens. And then when you see it right through, you start to build this confidence. A lot of this journey comes down to building that confidence. If you don't have confidence that you can survive panic, or you think panic's going to kill you, you have no confidence towards panic, you're always going to be looking over your shoulder. And how could you possibly relax, right, if you're always looking over your shoulder? So if you want to overcome your fear of intense feeling, aka panic, the only way to do that is to start to face what you think is a monster, what you think is this beast. But if you start to face it and say, okay, this is my experience, I'm going to willingly experience this, let's see where this goes, let's see where this takes me, you're not freaking out about it, right? Now that's a pretty blunt way to put it, but it's true. That's the goal, is to face the panic without freaking out about it. Instead, just try your best to have this mentality, practice this mentality of, okay, you're here, I'm going to experience it, I'm going to just see what happens. If this happens, if that happens, okay, right? If this feeling grows, if that feeling grows, okay, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to observe it, I'm going to be with it, I'm going to go towards it and not away from it. This is how you build confidence against panic. This is how you ultimately are going to lose your fear of panic. Dr. Claire Weeks said it the best. Right, that you're heading in the right direction when you do when you get into the mentality of what Dr. Claire Weeks said when she said, you get to the point that, so what if panic comes, because it no longer matters, right? Now, Dr. Claire Weeks said that, maybe not a direct quote, but pretty darn close. You get to the point where it doesn't matter. It no longer matters, right? No longer matters. Angel, I know we're getting off topic, but I do want to address this comment because it's important. High anxiety lasts so long after panic attack. I don't think it's going to kill. Yeah, that's called sensitization. I want you guys to understand. I made this point earlier. There is a big difference. Sensitization means you have high anxiety. Your nerves are very tired. They're very fragile. Panic attacks are more short-lived, right? But it's still the same advice, so don't get confused. It's still the same advice. It's still going to come back to acceptance. So whether we're talking about greeting panic attacks, which are more short-lived but usually more intense, or whether we're talking about just very high levels of anxiety, what we call tired nerves, fragile nerves, right? The same advice exists: to accept it, drop the second fear, aka the worry. That's all Dr. Claire Weeks meant by second fear, and live your life to greet it. So you could apply the title of this stream to your sensitization as well, and you probably should, to greet whatever comes, to allow whatever comes. Whatever comes, right? And whatever goes, goes. Have this attitude of, I'm willing to experience what I'm experiencing right now, because that is your choice. A lot of people think they don't have a choice there. It is always your choice whether or not you're willing to experience what you're experiencing. And the make or break there is going to be what you tell yourself about what you're experiencing. So if you are in the habit of telling yourself how awful it is to have high anxiety, well, we need to break that. We need to practice the attitude of, okay, I'm just going to get to know this thing. Right? I'm going to let it get cozy. I'm going to get cozy with it, and it can get cozy with me. Befriend what you think is your enemy here. It's not really your enemy. It's your protection mechanism. In fact, it loves you very much. It's just a little out of whack. So become willing to get cozy with your feelings and say, okay, let's see what's going to come, right? Instead of all this nasty, nasty second fear that keeps this cycle alive. I don't want to face this intense panic. It's too much. What if this is going to happen? Or it's just too uncomfortable. I can't bear it. I don't want to face this high anxiety. It's too much. It's what if this happens? Or what if that happens? Or I don't like it. I don't want to experience. We got to take that mentality, that second fear mentality, because we know that that just keeps you so stressed. That's what keeps everything from being able to relax and heal. We got to take this mentality and flip it on its head, right? And I'm glad you made that comment, because I did mention earlier that you can apply the same advice to tired nerves. It's the same thing, same advice. I just wanted to do a stream more specifically aimed at panic, but it's the same thing. Panic comes, high bouts of panic, you're going to greet it. Let's see what happens. You've never seen it through before. A lot of people have never seen it through before. By seeing it through, I mean willingly embrace it, not trying to stop it, right? That's the problem. That's the problem with panic. That's the problem with sensitization. Everyone is in a constant state of looking over their shoulders and trying to stop it. What would happen if you just stopped looking over your shoulder and you practiced, right? I say practice because nobody's perfect. You practice the mentality of, let's just see what the hell happens, right? What if I don't do my compulsion today? What if I don't do my coping method? What if I greet that panic? What if I greet that anxiety and don't head for this coping method or that coping method? What would happen if I practiced the mentality of greeting my sensitization, my high anxiety, my panic attacks? What if I just greeted it all with a curious, accepting inner voice and attitude and just said, you know what, let's see what happens. And you didn't go for the usual compulsions or coping methods. Let's just see what happens. That might sound scary to you at first, and that might feel very scary to you, I understand, at first. But the more you practice this attitude, you will eventually get to the point that Dr. Claire Weeks mentioned, and it's so important. The point that she made in one of her books was, you get to the point where you get the attitude, and this is earned. This is not just something that happens. A lot of people think, well, why can't I do it? Everybody else seems to do it. No, you got to practice this. This is earned. This is not just a flip of a switch. This is something you practice. You got to earn this, but eventually you will earn it, and you'll get to the attitude of, it no longer matters. I can hear her voice in my head right now, crystal clear. It no longer matters if panic comes. And it's in the no longer mattering. That's what she said. It's in the no longer mattering where you'll start to heal. Now, again, this is not just a flip that you switch. I made that mistake when I first read her books, and I thought, well, greet my panic attacks, greet my anxiety. Okay, I'm doing that. Why isn't it going away? It doesn't work like that. You need to really practice telling yourself, okay, let's just see what happens. You need to start to really try to embody and try to embrace that accepting attitude and just be willing to experience it, right? It's not a switch that you flip and then, the panic and sensitization suddenly gone. No, it takes time for the nerves to heal, and it takes time for the brain to learn. So don't treat it like a pill, right? Why is it going away? Because then you're just going right back to the worry. And understand that it is a practice. It's something that you earn. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad you made that comment, because this can apply to both. Sensitization, high anxiety, panic attacks. You got to learn to greet it, guys. Really, that's what it comes down to. You got to be willing to experience it, and you might not be 100% willing to experience it at first. That's okay. Practice, practice, practice. Every time you get a chance to say to your anxiety, whether it's high anxiety, whether it's panic attacks, every chance you get to say to your anxiety, okay, I'm not going to reach for that compulsion or that coping method. I just want to see what happens. I'm going to mind my business and carry on living, but I'm going to have this accepting attitude. That's the two main keys right there. The accepting inner voice and living your life, right? And your accepting inner voice needs to be one of, I greet this anxiety. I greet this panic. Greet, 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 instead of turning away. So what sounds better? You start to feel high levels of anxiety, you start to feel panic, and you say, oh God, I don't want to feel this. It's just so horrible. It just doesn't seem to end. And someone said, doesn't seem to end like everyone else's. Well, understand, sensitization is different than panic. Everybody who experiences sensitization does not feel instantly better, right? It takes time. My point is, though, what sounds better? Oh God, I don't want to experience this high anxiety. I don't want to experience this panic. What if this is the time that does me in? What if it gets too intense? Or for the first time, maybe for some of you, for the first time in your life, just say, hey, let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens if I just see this panic through. Let's see what happens if I just see this high anxiety through. Let's see what happens if I purposely expose myself to this trigger. Let's see what happens if I don't try to stop these symptoms like I normally do with coping methods and compulsions. Let's just greet it and see what the hell happens, because I'm sick of being a prisoner, man. Aren't you sick of being a prisoner? Aren't you sick of always looking over your shoulder, right? Aren't you sick of living a life where you have to be so damn paranoid 24/7 about what's to come, what panic attack is to come, how high or how low is my anxiety going to be today? Stop monitoring it all. Stop monitoring it all. Just have an attitude. Practice the attitude of, let's see where this goes, right? Let's see where this goes. So you say you can do it for a bit and then my nerves reach a limit. You got to let that spike happen, right? We got to let these peaks happen. Sometimes the nerves are through the roof, sometimes they're not. But whatever comes, we practice the attitude of just let's see where this goes, right? Let's see what happens. So, understand that there's always going to be that choice that you have to make. Do you go the panic route, the freak out route, or do you decide to say, hey, let's just see what happens, right? We've got to practice the attitude of greeting. So understand that that choice is for you to make, right? And understand that you can make that choice anytime, any given day. So with that being said, let's head on over. Well, we're already on post stream. What am I talking about? Let's head on over to chat. Let's read some comments, see what you guys are up to today. I feel like that was a pretty good stream. I'm happy with it, man. I'm happy with it. We got Sanchez in the house. What's up, Sanchez? What's up, Lee? Found out I had an underactive thyroid gland. Yeah, I've had that before. I've had people question that before. Understand that this advice is going to serve you whether you've got an underactive this or an underactive that, right? Worry and stress and sensitization, whether you treat this or treat that. And of course, I don't tell anyone that they shouldn't go get checked out. Go get checked out if you'd like to go get checked out. But understand, and you probably know this for yourself, even after you fix whatever is physically or could be wrong with you, right? Which 99% of the time, nobody has anything physically wrong with them. But let's say you do. Even after you do that, you got to put in the work, right? It might help take the edge off, and it might help the symptoms die down a little bit, but still this second fear attitude and this worry, it'll keep your anxiety alive if you let it, right? Regardless of fixing this or fixing that. So, if you want to go get checked out, go get checked out. And then if there's something wrong, probably not. But if there is, and you get that taken care of, understand that you're probably still going to be in the same boat. Because sensitization, the biggest cause of sensitization is not so much this or that, but it is worry. We know that the prefrontal cortex, aka your thinking mind, let's use big words today, there's a direct link to the amygdala that can set it off with the worry. So you got an underactive this, you get that taken care of. If you're still setting the amygdala off, you're still setting the amygdala off, right? Getting this fixed or that fixed or this fixed might take the edge off, and that's great. But chances are you still probably have to put in the work, because whether you got a perfect thyroid or a shit thyroid, you can still set the amygdala off with the prefrontal cortex. So my point is, go get checked out if you want to get checked out, right? And if they find something, great. But you're still, at some point or another, at the end of the day, you still got to do the work, right? You still got to do the work. So I've had people come at me with that concern before, and your comment just gave me a chance to address that. But, whatever's there, you get checked out, you're still going to have to put in the work, right? You're still going to have to put in the work. You can have a perfectly healthy person who doesn't have any of those problems, and most people are perfectly healthy people in that regard who doesn't have any of those problems. They're still miserable, right? Because the root problem, this bad habit, needs to be worked on one way or another. And in the same case, you can have people that aren't entirely healthy, and they start to practice, they feel better. So either way, gotta use this advice, dude. You gotta give old Dr. Claire Weeks and old Wonder Bro a try here, right? Gotta work on it. But yeah, hopefully now that you've gotten that taken care of, Lee, you can come back to the channel and you can really start to practice. So the breakdown and sometimes having to cry is okay, because it just happens. I can't say yes or no to that because I don't know what your habits are, right? If your breakdown is a result of your own negative thinking and second fear, aka worry, then I wouldn't say that's okay. No, because we got to work on that. If it just kind of happens, if you're talking about just really intense feelings that just kind of come with a tired nervous system that tend to peak on and off, right? And you say it just kind of happens, we do need to practice acceptance there. So that's a really hard question to answer. I can't really say yes or no there because I don't have that insight to your life. I'm not really sure what you're doing mentally, if you're adding a bunch of negativity and worry, or if you truly do just have that accepting inner voice and you are just greeting it and allowing it. See, I don't know that. So it's really hard for me to answer that question, but hopefully you still gain something from this stream and you can make those corrections. Ooh, that scared me. That scared me. That scared me there. Mint, thank you so much, Mint. I did not see that one coming. I really appreciate you. First tip of the morning with the $20 tip. We're on a 155-day streak. We did not lose the streak last time. Some people thought we lost the streak. We did not lose the streak. I ended up getting really, really tired. Like I could barely hold my eyes open last time we streamed. Like it was bad. And I just ended the stream. Normally I would just keep it going. We'd hit tip goal. It'd be fine. But I couldn't do it, so I used the get out of jail free card from a previous stream that we had a high tip, and yeah, we moved the streak forward. So the streak is still alive at 155 days. I really appreciate it. Also, guys, I haven't brought this up in a minute, but the roof goal, I believe, let me get an exact number for you. The roof goal, which I've decided to only bring out roof goal once we hit daily tip goal and stuff like that. Try to keep it simple. And then sometimes we'll do streams where we're totally focused on roof goal. But anyway, roof goal is sitting at 2,000. I don't want to say this wrong. Let me just pull the app up. I want to get an exact number here so you guys know what we're working with. It's at 2.7. It's something like that. The app won't load. 2.7, I believe, is the last time I checked the roof goal. So thank you guys so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. Angel said I think it's both. It could be. Like I said, I wish I could answer that question for you. I can't because I don't know your habits. I don't know what you're doing in those moments. I don't know if you're adding a bunch of fearful worry, and that's leading to your quote-unquote breakdowns, what you mean is intense feelings, right? I don't know if you're contributing to that. I don't know if the reason you're having these intense feelings is because you are so worried and adding all this second fear. If that's the case, then I wouldn't say it's okay. No, I would say it's okay that you make mistakes, but we need to really work on that, right? That's what I would say. But if you're using an accepting inner voice as much as you can, if you're trying to practice greeting it rather than turning away from it, and you really got that accepting inner voice, that accepting attitude, and you're living your life, then yeah, I mean, that's out of your hands. You can't control when it peaks and when it doesn't peak. So yeah, hard question to answer there. Facing bodily sensations. Well, welcome, hang out with us for a bit. We're all about greeting our feelings today. That's what this whole stream is about. Greeting our feelings, whether they be high anxiety feelings, even panic attacks. You're going to practice the attitude of greeting them rather than how can I make this go away, right? Which has been the problem for so many people. And I'm sorry if I sound weird. I'm like trying to plug this in. Which has been the problem for so many people, always looking over their shoulder. Let's see a show of hands in chat. How many people in here have always just have spent so long, whether it be weeks, months, or years, looking over their shoulder? How many people have spent, maybe you're not now, maybe you're recovered now, maybe you're recovering, but how many people can say at one point or another, you just spent every waking hour looking over your shoulder, right? And that was really my main point of today's stream. How can you relax if you're always looking over your shoulder because you're so afraid of what's to come with these symptoms? The only way that you're going to stop looking over your shoulder and keeping yourself worried 24/7, always looking over your shoulder, the only way that's going to come to an end is if you practice greeting them. So you get to the point, like Dr. Claire Weeks said, it no longer matters because I'm just greeting, right? Who cares if it comes? I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to greet it. I'm not going to turn away from it. I'm going to greet it. I'm going to see what happens. You get curious. You become willing. So many key words today. Willing and greeting and willing. This is the way that you stop looking over your shoulder, because if you're tensed up 24/7, always worried about when the next bout of panic will be or when the next bout of high anxiety will be, right? How could you possibly relax a little bit? If you're always looking over your shoulder? So the only way to gently practice no longer having to look over your shoulder is to say, hey, whatever comes, I'm going to greet it. So now it doesn't matter what comes, and you got to earn this attitude by practice. But you get to a point that now it doesn't matter what comes, because if it comes, it's an opportunity. I'm going to greet it. So you're not always having to look over your shoulder anymore. Those days are gone, right? Now you can start to chill out a little bit. So, this advice that we're given this morning, of course, is no different than what we've always given. We're just trying to put it in a new, interesting, and exciting way here. We're trying to keep things fresh. But the main point will always be practicing that accepting inner voice. You're not looking over your shoulder. You're not saying, hey, what's going to come? What's around? I'm so scared of what's going to come. You're always, you're practicing this attitude of always just saying, okay, I'm going to greet it. So the advice has not changed, right? We're just trying to put it in a new way. You're greeting what comes. That way it doesn't matter, because you've got the attitude of greeting. Does it matter what comes through that door? If your dominant attitude is I'm going to greet it, no, it no longer matters, right? It no longer matters. No longer matters. What's up, Christopher? So practice that attitude, guys. I know acceptance works. I wasn't anxious for ages, then all of a sudden my health condition flared up again and it's put me back, hoping to be back on form soon. Yeah, absolutely, Lee. And I wasn't saying earlier when I read your comment that I thought you were doubting acceptance or anything. I just wanted to make a point that you said, you went to the doctor, they found something wrong with you, they corrected it. I just wanted to make a point that whether you go to the doctor and they find something wrong with you and they correct it, or you go to the doctor and they find nothing wrong with you, either way, whether you're the healthiest person in the world or there's something that needs to be taken care of, either way you got to practice the advice, right? Because you could have someone who's got this wrong with them, whatever this is, and they're practicing the advice and they feel pretty good. They do have this condition. A lot of people have conditions, right? And I'm not saying you shouldn't go get them corrected. Go get them corrected by your doctor. But a lot of people have conditions and they're not necessarily torn up, sensitized, anxious over it, right? I know a lot of people that say I've got this wrong with me, or thyroid's wrong with me, or this wrong's with me, but they don't tell me, like, I'm talking about my close friends and stuff, but they don't say, dude, my anxiety's through the roof. They don't say that, right? They don't say that. So you can have this wrong with you or that wrong with you, but that doesn't mean you're going to be tore up 24/7 sensitized. My main point here, the number one thing that's going to cause you to be a nervous wreck and completely sensitized and miserable is your own bad habit of worry, aka second fear, right? That's my point I'm trying to make. So I don't want anybody to say, oh God, well, I'm going to blame it on this or I'm going to blame it on that. I know that real health conditions exist. Go get checked out if you're concerned about that. Go get a clean bill of health, right? I know that real health conditions exist. I do not doubt that. But my main point is that the number one thing that causes sensitization is the bad habit of worry, aka second fear. How can I prove that? Because I've got friends, and I'm sure you've got friends, and people exist that have these conditions or whatever is wrong with this is wrong with them, that's wrong with them physically, but they're not talking about how bad their anxiety is. They might have this symptom or that symptom due to their health condition, but they're not running around watching Vacay Veer, right? So that's how I can prove that point. So regardless, health condition, not health condition, the advice remains the same, right? The advice remains the same. You can have plenty of things wrong with you, but that doesn't mean you're going to be a sensitized mess. What's going to make you a sensitized mess is your own bad habits of worry and second fear. And like I said, you can prove that just by talking to people who also have a ton of things wrong with them, or maybe you know somebody that has a ton of physical health problems. They're not talking about how bad their anxiety is, right? They might have this symptom or that symptom, but they're not watching Vacay Fear to try to figure out how to get away from anxiety. So, I don't want you to say, oh, well, I can't do it because I've got this health condition, right? I can't do it because I got this health condition. No, don't do that. Plenty of people with these health conditions that aren't talking about sensitization. Plenty of people with these health conditions that aren't talking about anxiety, don't care about anxiety, right? So there's your proof right there. So go to the doctor, get a clean bill of health, get your conditions worked on. That's all good stuff, but understand that the advice remains the same. I'm sorry if I drug that point out way too long. It's just, I don't want anyone to think that they've got a reason why they can't do the work, because it's just not true. I want you guys to be dedicated regardless of your this condition or that condition. I want you guys to learn this advice. Thank you again, Mint, for the tip. Appreciate you. Wolf, what's up, Wolf? Haven't seen you in a minute, dude. I was always looking for the magic pill for years. Guess what? Didn't exist. Started practicing acceptance and do nothing about the feelings, and with time it became less and less to almost gone. Live life. I love it, dude. And by do nothing, I mean that's the title of this stream, really, to greet everything. And I probably should have stuck the word sensitization up in the title somewhere. My main goal was to focus on solely panic attacks today because we don't show them enough love here on the channel. But we have ended up talking about both panic and sensitization today, and that's okay because the advice applies to both. But yeah, it's to greet everything, man. It's to greet everything instead of always looking over your shoulder. Kay, thank you for the $3 Cash App. Can we give a shout out to Kay? Thank you so much. I'm glad I checked my phone. And we also got a $100 tip from Olivia. A $100 tip from Olivia. Thank you so much, Olivia. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Can we show some love, dude? That is huge. Olivia, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Love you. Mint, thank you. Kay, thank you. Who else we got in chat today? We got Kate in chat. Is Kate in chat? Hello, Kate. I didn't see you there. I had to scroll up a little bit. Thank you so much, Olivia. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Show some love in the chat, guys. It's been a while since we've done a morning stream, but this one has been awesome. I've loved it. And crap, I forgot to do top tippers. I always forget to do top tippers. This is a fairly new concept. So if you guys notice that I'm not doing my top tippers, please call me out on that and be like, yo, you haven't done top tippers. It's just a way for me to give more credit to people that I feel deserve it, right? Get your name up on screen. These streams don't go nowhere, so if you want your name up on screen, or if you don't, just let me know in your tip note. But if you do, let me know and your name will always be on the stream. Let's see, so who's coming in second there? That would be Mint. We got Mint. And wow, this is a very new concept to me. I can't figure out how this works today. My brain doesn't work today. There we go. Believe that's right. JT, what's up? We got some for the roof as well. So how I've decided to do the roof, right? Because here's the, and I don't really like to get into the details because I feel like it makes me look like I'm focusing on pushing the roof too hard. I'm trying not to push the roof too hard. But here's how I've decided to do it. I'll do my daily tip goal, right? So we hit the daily tip goal and we're moving on to 156. That is crazy. 156 day streak. So the tip goal has been hit for the day. We're moving on to 156 day streak. Now here's what I decided to do. So that will go away, right? We'll just put that away for a minute and then we'll pull out our roof goal. So if we hit our daily tip goal, we'll move on to working on the roof goal, and either we'll add to it or we won't add to it. Yeah, and that's how I've decided to do it, because it gets a bit confusing, right? I would love to focus on both at the same time. It's just difficult to do because here's the thing. I still got like bills to pay, right? Like I still got a lot of bills to pay coming up, like at the first of the month and stuff like that. So if I just do all roof goal, then I will no longer be able to pay my bills. So I have to have some that goes towards like daily tip goal, or else I can't survive that way. It gets really weird. So I decided to do daily tip goal first. If we hit it, I'll take it off the screen and then we'll put on the roof goal and work on that. Let's see. Yeah, so it gets weird, it gets confusing, but that's how I've decided to do it. And that's what makes it difficult doing like two goals, because I still have to have my daily goal or else I can't eat, and then we'll bring up roof goal. Like that's the best way that I've kind of figured out how to do that. Will Olivia get to choose a hat color now? Yes, she can either choose the hat color now for next stream when I've actually got the camera on, or she can wait until the next stream that she's here, right? And she can let me know. Fighting it is fighting yourself. That's what I've learned. Absolutely, couldn't agree more, Lee. Something for the roof. I know it won't touch the sides, but it's something. Much love, Wonder Bro. Well, thank you so much, Olivia. Let's see. See, this is where it gets a little hard and confusing. So that would mean, you see what I'm saying? This is where it gets confusing. So that would mean we didn't hit tip goal technically. If Olivia's goes for 100 towards the roof, that would mean we're on 20 of the daily tip goal. See, that's where it gets so confusing. It's so confusing. How we gonna do that? YouTube Shorts Anxiety Myths Part 2. Yes, we need to do another one of those. I did a garden update yesterday for anybody who's interested in that. And I've been doing more of the shorts in general. I'm on my bike, but the rain keeps starting different videos for me because my screen has to be on to listen to the stream. Oh, I hate that. Hate it, hate it. Hate it, hate it. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do is this. 1 second here. 1 second here. I'm gonna take that. Transfer that. And then we're gonna add this because this is okay. 64. Okay, 64. So I just took out the daily tip goal and put it into my main account, and I was left with 2,764. So that means we're still like 50 bucks plus towards the roof goal today. So we hit tip goal, and we're 50 bucks towards the roof goal as well. So that works out perfect. That works out perfect. Yeah, it gets a little confusing. I'm sorry. There's just no easy way to do it. It's like what do you do? Like, I still need the daily tip goal, right, for, like, you know, survival purposes. And then the roof goal I'm kind of put at the end of the streams. If we hit the daily tip goal, then we'll move. It says, okay, it says we're live. Dude, why? Why do you pick the worst times to do that? I've got to get that looked into because I can't have that continue to happen. That is horrible. Are we still in the same stream? Please tell me that didn't break the stream down into 2 parts. I hate it when that happens. I hate it when that happens. Whenever I mentioned on a short, once the veggies you're growing and produce, are we adding salads to your diet? We're adding corn. Maybe lettuce. Maybe. I don't know about full-blown salad. I don't know if we can go full-blown salad, but we're adding corn. Is that healthy? That's a healthy choice, right? Another storm. No, it's actually like a very bright sunny day here. It's actually a very bright sunny day here. That if the storm knocks the internet out, that means we're gone. But if we just disconnect and reconnect for a second, it's normally because my router just shits out for a minute, and I'm not sure why it does that. It does that every now and then. As most of you guys know, I recently got a new router thanks to Terry. And it's been great. The download speeds are great. Everything about it is great. But I don't know. For some reason, maybe it's the cable I got with it. It disconnects me every now and then like that. Great food and cheap because you get some from the store and sprout them on the windowsill, then plant them. Maybe start growing potatoes. I did want to get into growing potatoes this year, but I think I missed the boat on that, right? Is it too late? Sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and I start thinking intrusive thoughts. I've been practicing acceptance. I just don't want to give up or go crazy. Well, the go crazy thing right there is second fear, right? That is second fear in itself. So you want to turn the whole I don't want to go crazy thing into let's just see what happens, right? And that was really the point of today's stream, is to greet all of these feelings with a greeting, welcoming attitude, to practice that attitude instead of saying things like, well, I don't want to go crazy, right? Let's turn that into I'm willing to experience what comes. So let's practice that attitude. Let's practice that mentality. That's what we want you to be practicing. So leave the whole I just don't want to go crazy or give up or leave that all behind and replace that with the accepting inner voice of I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to greet what comes, right? So that's the attitude to practice. That's the attitude that you got to earn. You'll save so much money going vegan. Is this your guys' attempts to get me to go vegan? Carrots are great to grow, but nothing beats potatoes. I love potatoes. I could eat potatoes a part of every meal, for sure, no doubt, no doubt. Me and potatoes, man, we're best friends. We are best friends. I love me some potatoes. How do you treat a bad thought, though? You accept it, and you say something to yourself that is accepting, and you get right back into living. So you get a thought that says, oh, you're going to go crazy. You're going to say to yourself something like, you know what, I can handle this. Let's just see what happens, right? That's just an example. You find what you like. But you greet the bad thought with acceptance. You don't fight with it. You don't argue with it. You don't debate with it. You don't try to figure it out. If the thought says you're going to go crazy, you don't say, oh my God, let me look up the statistics, right? I'll spoil it for you. Nobody goes crazy from anxiety, but you don't argue with the thought. You don't try to say, oh God, A, B, C, D, here's why this won't happen. You just say, okay, you know what? Just had that thought. I can handle it. We'll see what happens, right? You just a short, sweet, accepting inner voice, right? Instead of a fight, because you won't win that fight. The mind will just come up with loophole after loophole after loophole. It's ridiculous. So many loopholes. So you accept thought, give yourself some accepting words, and get back to living, right? You just let these thoughts and feelings do what they will. Do what they will. Is the roof 10K? Would have thought it would have been more. I don't have an exact estimate yet. I'm waiting to get that. I've heard on the low end it was 10K, so that's the very lowest of the low. It probably is more than 10K, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to put such a big number on the screen. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know why. I chose the lowest number on the lowest possible, estimate that I could get. So it more than likely will turn out to be more than 10K. But I figured, you know what? If it does, I will just try to earn the rest myself, and so be it. But 10K is at least going to be most of it. It's got to be at least most of it, right? So I just called around and spoke to a few people, and the rough ballpark was always 10 to 15, so I just chose the smallest number out of the two. Don't go vegan because you'll have to study so hard and really know what you're doing, and it's not necessarily cheap. Don't worry, you don't have to. You don't have to convince me. I am already convinced. That is not a concern. Uh, that is not a concern. Don't worry. You do not have to worry about that. Potatoes, not necessarily too late. Could be worth a try at home. We started to save the green potatoes if there's any in a bag and put them on the windowsill. Then we chop them if there's any sprouts. So it's not necessarily too late for potatoes. Okay, well, I might do that. I don't know. I've kind of ran out of space, so I might hold off until next year, because I was definitely going to do them next year regardless, so probably stick to that. I know, just trying to get Wonder Bro to eat cleaner. Yeah, a lot of people have tried, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of people have tried that one, Sanchez, and it didn't necessarily work out. So, hey, but you never know, right? You never know. You never know. I don't know, man. I don't think I could ever give up eating meat. Like, I just don't think. I just don't think I see that happening. Sell the potatoes and veggies. If I grow potatoes, I'll eat the potatoes. I can eat potatoes with anything. Potato this, potato that, potato breakfast, potato lunch, potato dinner. I can eat potatoes all day long. The veggies, I'm gonna eat the crap out of the corn. I love corn. Corn on the cob is the best. You just smother that with butter, delicious. The lettuce I'm growing, I might have a few meals in mind that I can incorporate the lettuce. I'm not a huge fan of lettuce, but recently I've started eating it, and it's all right. It's just crunchy water. That's all it is. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna eat everything that I grow so far. Keto diet, which I've heard of that. meat and veggies. That what I eat now. Meat and veggies. Talking about saving money and going vegan. Is it as expensive as everybody says it is? Because I've heard that. I've heard that plenty of times. It's very expensive to go vegan. Any fruit next year? I planted watermelon out there, but the watermelon and the onion have not been very successful. Like I've pretty much given up on the onion. The onion patch that I planted has just been taken over by weeds, and this is my first year ever doing a garden, so I'm not really sure. Of course, I've looked it all up. I've done research, but I can't really tell what's an onion sprout and what's a weed. So I've just left it. I've kind of abandoned it. So I'm not sure how that'll go. The watermelon I just had no luck with. Period. Like I don't see any sort of watermelon. Like I look at where I planted the watermelon. I'm like, yeah, I don't think any of this could possibly be watermelon sprouts. Like there's no way. So that just failed. But the corn is like knee high and doing great. The lettuce is doing great. So yeah, I mean, it's been fun. It's been fun. Not all of it was a success, but it's been fun. Corn has no benefits to you, but it's nice. Love potatoes as well. Yeah, I mean, I just planted it because it tasted good. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't ever look at what's good for me as far as diet's concerned. I probably should. I'll admit. I probably should. But I don't really take that into consideration. I'm going to have to eventually, probably. I'm definitely lactose intolerant now. That is for a fact. I decided the other night, I've been fine for quite a while, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to put a good amount of cheese on my burgers that I made. And I did that, and I ate them, and I had stomach pain. Pretty intense stomach pain afterwards. So, there you go. Continues to reinforce the fact that I have developed lactose intolerance, and it's not fun, and I don't like it. Let's see. Mint says, "What you saying? Corn is great." So do we have a debate in the chat between whether corn is good for you or not good for you? We have a debate in the chat. Is corn good for you? Does corn do something for you, or does it not? We now have a debate. Olivia says no benefit. Mint says high protein, fiber content, good trace nutrients. Also grow some herbs for cooking, bro. That could be fun. Might incorporate that at some point. Dominic, what's up, dude? I'm not vegan, but I haven't had meat in 20 days, and boy, it can be confusing as fuck. I'm sure. I don't doubt that at all. I can chew corn a million times, still shit it all. I didn't pre-read that comment. I didn't pre-read that comment. I just went straight forward. Corn doesn't digest. Big facts. No benefits at all. Corn is one of the most important plants for food in the world. So we got a debate here. We've got two sides. We have got two sides here. We got one side that says corn does nothing for you and it doesn't digest. Big facts. And then we've got the side that says it's one of the most important plants and that it's a myth that corn does not digest. So we're starting to see a tear here. Turned out to be a myth. We're starting to see a divide here in chat. So who's going with corn, right? And who's going with not corn? Olivia and Kay seem to believe that corn does not digest at all. Mint seems to believe that that is a complete myth. Ooh, and Kay is saying, I'll prove you wrong. Okay. Fight. Come on. Somebody's wrong here, right? Somebody's wrong here. Either Kay and Olivia's wrong or Mint's wrong. Kay's argument seems to be that none of it digests because the corn comes out completely whole in your shit. So that's Kay's argument. Mint seems to believe that some of it's getting digested. I don't know. I don't know who's right and who's wrong here, but either way, it's delicious. So, regardless of who's right and who's wrong, guess who's going to be eating a shit ton of corn? This guy. This guy. I mean, I don't think we have to experiment it. I know for a fact that when you eat corn, it comes out the same way. But so that I know is true. But now we're to the point. Does it come out? Does it all come out like that, or is some of it getting digested? Right? Is some of it getting digested, or not? None of it's getting digested. I think some of it's got to be getting digested, right? Because yeah, I understand that you can like eat corn and in your shit it's still corn, right? But that's a lot of corn. And there's got to be some of it that's getting digested and broken down, right? Or else the whole turd would be just all corn, and usually it's only like a couple pieces. Right? You get my point? That's my point. Everybody else is stating like scientific facts, but my point I think is the most valid here, because you can eat a piece of corn on a cob. That's like 500 little pieces of corn, right? Well, your turd is not complete corn. There's like 10 pieces in it. Where did the other 450, 490 pieces of corn grow? No, 450. I said 50, right? Poor Cher comes in to ask a anxiety question, and we're talking about shit and corn. That's okay. What do you do when you don't feel much of anything emotionally? Two keys. Two keys will always apply. Because think about it. If you don't feel anything emotionally, what's going to help, right? What's going to help? You sitting around and doing nothing and talking about how bad you feel? Or developing the accepting inner voice. Okay, I feel emotionally flat. And then trying to do things that you enjoy, right? Which seems like the route to go. So I know it's like the most annoying answer that you can receive when you hear me say the two keys, because that tends to be a lot of what I say. But you can see how the two keys apply to just about anything and everything, whether it be anxiety or feeling a little bit emotionally flat, right? You can see how the two main keys are always going to be beneficial to whatever we're talking about. Correction, turd, exactly, Mike. But nobody's answering my point, though. Nobody's addressing my point. Why is nobody addressing my point? Address my point, damn it. There's like 500 kernels. Is that what you call them? Like little pieces of corn on a corn on the cob. And if you look at your shit, there's not 500 pieces of corn in that shit. So where'd the rest of it go? Oh, gotcha. Case closed. Case closed. And the only way you can prove me wrong, you can pick through it yourself and count them, right? And then I'll believe you. I have a serious question. Stress, the kind where there's so much to do and looks like there's no end to it. How to navigate that without getting knocked one thing at a time, right? Repeat after me. One thing at a time. So when I tell people to have the accepting inner voice and live their life, the live their life part of the equation, I don't mean look at everything as a whole and think, oh God, I need to do this and do that. No, I mean live your life one thing at a time. Maybe I should actually tack that on to the two main keys from now on. That wouldn't be a bad idea. When I say live your life, keep in mind that I mean quite literally one thing at a time. So clear objective, right? Clear objective in mind. Do that. And then we'll worry about what's next later. Then we'll tackle we probably shouldn't say worry there, but then we'll get on to the next thing later. So one thing at a time. Don't sit down and think, okay, I got to live my life today. Let's go through this big long list of all the things that I've got to do. No, let's say, okay, I'm going to live my life today, one objective at a time. And then we'll put one objective at a time, right? So you can see how you go at it like that, and then you can look back on the day and you can say, okay, I've done all these things, right? Proud of myself. Pat myself on the back, right? Instead of sitting down and saying, okay, I need to do all of these things. No, just do one thing at a time. And then at the end of the day, you can say, look at all I've done, instead of saying, look at all I need to do, right? Do you see the difference there? So one thing at a time, one thing at a time. Stomach acid breaking down, but not in a good way. Can one of y'all eat corn 30 days straight? Let's see what happens. I'll eat corn again. Hey, no, it's sitting in the gut, in the stomach, and breaking down all those sweet, beautiful nutrients, right? Ha! Ha! Honestly, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about anything when it comes to food and stomachs and nutrients. I wanted to be a part of the debate. That's all. I have no weight in this conversation. Um, I am completely neutral. Whether corn has huge benefits or not, I'm gonna eat the shit out of it because it tastes good, and that's all I care about. That's all I care about. I never came into the corn debate giving a shit whether it had nutrients or not. If it tastes good, it could have 0% everything. As long as it tastes good, that's what I'm in it for. Boy, that's what I'm in it for when it comes to eating. Y'all are eating for the nutrients? The fuck? Y'all are eating for the nutrients. You're crazy. I'm eating because that shit tastes good. That's what I'm eating for. I ain't eating for nutrient this, nutrient that. Who cares? Who gives a shit about that? As long as it tastes good, that's what I'm in it for. um, that happens a lot. I see it all. My body kicks in a stress response for all of it at once. Exactly. So you're thinking about all that needs to be done rather than one thing at a time. Rather than one thing at a time, which is what you need to be doing. I think because no matter how long you chew it, Mike, it just, I don't know, chew it up and spit it out one day and see if it still looks the same. Because I think it still looks the same, right? Like, no matter how you chew it, it's just, like, chewy. It's not really doing anything when you chew it. Right? I don't think. I can't believe y'all are eating for the nutrients, man. Y'all do that? People do that? I thought you ate because it tasted good. I thought that was the point. Like, I know the nutrients keep you alive and stuff. That's irrelevant, but I thought the main point was to eat because it tastes good. Y'all out here not eating stuff because there's no amount of vitamin this or vitamin that in it? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy, man. What's wrong with you? I think the last time I checked the nutrient value, like on the back of a packaging, was after I devoured 12 Reese cups in one setting, and I wanted to see how many calories that was. That was the last time I checked the nutrient chart on something. That was the last time I checked any nutrient charts because I was so disappointed in myself. I was curious. It's designed to be drawn to things that fill your energy and nutrient needs. Like Mountain Dew. Like, look at this. I got a Mountain Dew in front of me. This has got 60 milligrams of sodium. That's good. I know you need that, right? Carbohydrates, it's got 46 grams. That's good. You need carbohydrates. That means you're carbonated. And carbonation's good. It means you're hydrated. It's got 46 grams of sugar. That's good. You gotta have sugar to be energized. It's got 46 more added grams of sugar, I think. It's got 0 grams of protein, which is fine because you don't really need protein that much anyway. Yeah, and it's got 54 grams or milligrams of caffeine. You need that. You need that to function. And it's got water in it. It's got carbonated water, so you're getting hydrated right there with water. And it says it's got concentrated orange juice. I know orange juice is good for you. I know for a fact orange juice is good for you. They always tell you to drink orange juice. This has got nothing but good shit in it. It's got nothing but good shit. It's got 0 grams of fat, so there's no fat in this. No fat, full of carbohydrates, which I know is like energy, you need it, and sugar, which you also need. And carbohydrates is good because carbo means water. That means you got water and you're good. And it's got orange juice, and orange juice is good for you. And caffeine gives you energy, which is also good for you. So Mountain Dew is really good. Like, if you think about it, Mountain Dew is just as good as water. Mountain Dew is really just as good as water. And you're getting orange juice, which I didn't know until just now, but you're getting orange juice too, which is, I know, is good for you. So that's your guys' problem. You got all your facts wrong when it comes to what to drink. You're drinking the wrong things. You're drinking the wrong things. Make you a diabetic. Dude, if we're talking about nutrients, water has nothing. Water's just nothing, which means it's 0. Water just means the absence of everything. So water's actually bad for you. There's nothing in it. There's no nutrients in water, right? So you need Mountain Dew instead, because that's got a ton of stuff in it. But if you flip over a bottle of water, it's 0 everything. That's horrible. If you're going to take something in, it's got to have nutrients, right? That was the point you guys were making. So you got to get all the carbohydrates you can possibly get and as much sugar as possible. So I think we've all come to the realization that water's bad for you, and Mountain Dew is what you need to be drinking. Yeah, drink of champions. That's what I like to hear. You're tripping, bro. You tripping. What if this is all... Okay, bear with me for a second, chat. What if this is all just a lie? What if... Who decided? I want to talk to the person that decided that Mountain Dew is bad for you. And who come up with words like carbohydrate and sodium and all this stuff? Who did that? Because what if they were wrong? What if this is all wrong? What if Mountain Dew is actually really good for you, and chocolate's really good for you, and all this bullshit about veggies and all this other stuff? What if that's all a myth? What if this is all just a conspiracy? And it could be, right? It could be. Orange juice is nasty. I agree. Orange juice is pretty nasty. But I'm getting it in my Mountain Dew, so it's good. I'll tell you what's nastier than just straight orange juice. Sunny D. I don't know. I can't imagine meeting a person that can sit around and pour a glass and say, you know what, I really want a glass of Sunny D right now. Can you imagine meeting a person that could actually say that with a straight face? Can you imagine what a psychopath you would have to be to sit down and literally say and fully mean it, oh, I could really go for a big glass of Sunny D right now? Psychopath, absolute nut job would sit down and have a big sour glass of Sunny D. Makes me want to projectile vomit. I just don't understand. Yeah, it's thick too. That's a good point. It's thick. It's like cough syrup. It's like sour cough syrup. Oh, God. It's so nasty. Sunny D. I used to love Sunny D when I was a kid. Now I hate it. Yeah, it's definitely something people should grow out of. And I'm so glad you did. I'm so proud of you because I just don't understand it. Sherry says Sunny. Everybody thinks Sunny. I'm glad you all agree with me. I'm glad you all agree with me. Just for the record, don't stop drinking water and start drinking Mountain Dew because I was joking. I was joking about carbohydrates, meaning that you're hydrated. And I was joking about water being not good for you. And I was joking about Mountain Dew being good for you. Please don't take me literally. All right. Just a disclaimer there, in case that went over anybody's head. Even the name sounds nasty. Sound like the name of a crackhead rapper. Sunny D. Sunny D. I'll tell you what's really good though. I'll tell you what the best drink, if we're talking about like juices and stuff, right? If we're off the topic of soda, we're talking about juices. Apple juice. I can drink apple juice all day long. I love apple juice. I think it's so good. So good. I do love me some apple juice, but yeah, Sunny D is disgusting. Disgusting. I love these post stream conversations too, Mint. They're fun, and they seem to be way more fun when I'm sleep deprived, as I currently am. Because normally I'd have been to sleep like a few hours ago because I've been up all night, so I'm on that night owl schedule. But I was like, screw it, we haven't had a morning stream in forever, so let's do it. So these post stream conversations seem to be a bit more funny when I'm sleep deprived because it seems like the filter just goes away and I don't really care much. So yeah, here we are, just totally sleep deprived, talking about corn and Sunny D and poop. So, on a great stream, great stream. Nobody else ate Tang powder. I've seen it. It's got the monkey on the pouch, right? Like literally, it's got or in the commercial, or it used to have a monkey in the commercial, I think. I don't know if I've ever tried it, but I'm sure it's disgusting. Like literally just a drop. You could probably get away with just a drop of orange juice. That would be okay. Woot, I caught a live stream. What did I miss? We talked about poop. About corn and poop. So, not much. But hello, welcome. I hope you're doing great. If you are interested in the point of the stream, however, you can skip way back. I think we knocked the point of the stream out within like 10 minutes or something, so. Sorry, typo, I'm bicycling. This sounds dangerous, Mint. Are you wearing your helmet? Are you wearing your helmet? You shouldn't be texting and driving your bicycle. Are you wearing your bubble wrap today? I don't know. Since we're on the topic of drinks and food and stuff. Huge bummer. I want to try some of those lactose pills or whatever. Because it really just sucks that I can't have like hard cheese or milk anymore. And I don't want to play Russian roulette every time I eat hard cheese or milk, which is what essentially I'm doing. Because sometimes you can get away with it as somebody who's lactose intolerant. I guess it depends on what your severity is. I think I'm pretty damn severe, but sometimes you can get away with it, because I've had days where I'll sneak this or sneak that since I figured out that I was lactose, and be generally okay. But you're essentially rolling the dice, right? You're playing Russian roulette, and it's just nerve-wracking, and I don't like it. So I want to try those lactose pills that everybody keeps mentioning, because I don't think I'm going to be able to give up the dairy completely, but at the same time, it's not worth rolling the dice every time I have a slice of cheese. Like, it's not worth rolling the dice. Got tired of regular water, so I started to infuse it with fruits. They got that carbonated water, which is like sparkling water, and it's really good. I could drink that all day long. Yes, you should try that. I'm going to. I think I'm going to, because if that can bring cheese back into my life and milk back into my life, I'll go for it. I used to be able to drink, I'm talking like a half gallon of milk a day, which is probably not good for you. But regardless, the point is I used to be able to do it just fine, not have any issues. Yeah. And then one day, I remember the worst lactose intolerant attack is what I call them, because that's what it feels like. It feels like the worst pain, dude. People think it's just shitting your brains out. It's not. It's like excruciating pain. The worst lactose attack that I ever had was when I drank a half gallon of milk, which to me was no big deal because I've done that before, right? Oh my God. Imagine being lactose intolerant and drinking half a gallon of milk. Oof. Oof. It was a hellacious experience. When I say it was like 12 hours of some of the worst stomach pain that I've ever had, like on the verge of tears type fetal position pain. Oh my God, dude. Half a gallon of milk for somebody who's lactose intolerant. It was the worst experience of my life. It had to have been. The other day when I chanced it and I poured a bunch of shredded cheese on my burgers, that was some pretty hard pain too. But it was nothing like that day. Oh my God. I was breaking out in a cold sweats, dude. I was breaking out in a cold sweats, and it was just horrible. It was just horrible. The burger situation the other day, like it was still pretty bad pain, but it was nothing like that day I drank half a gallon. Many vids watch. This is only second live stream. Cotton, keep doing what you do, Wonder Bro. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you for that. Why are we sitting in complete silence today? What's going on? Why do we not have any music on? What the hell, chat? What the hell? Let's get us some music. There we go. That's better. That's better. I wish it was super easy for me to stay up all day, like after being up all night, like it used to be when I was younger. Because I would definitely do that to fix my sleep. But it's only 10 a.m. and there's no way. I'm at that age, man. There's just no way. No way I can do that. I wonder, bro, been having a few rough days. Every time I have bad days, I think some disease just need a good pep talk. So every time you have bad days, you start to problem solve, or what you're really doing is creating problems. But you think you're problem solving, and you try to blame it on this or try to blame it on that. We really have to switch that inner voice up to acceptance, right? So you've got to practice and you've got to earn the accepting inner voice. And what I mean by that is every time you catch yourself starting to think, oh God, I got this or I got that, turn that into, I'm going to greet these feelings, I'm going to be with these feelings, whatever it is you want to tell yourself. But find your accepting inner voice. It's in there somewhere. Find it, practice it with all your heart, right? And keep living. That is the two main keys right there. Those positive behaviors, they help teach the brain that there is no threat, and that accepting inner voice keeps you from adding fuel to the fire. And that's why the two main keys are what they are. So keep going, keep practicing. You got this. Keep it going. I'm glad you survived your bike ride, Mint. All the junk they put in milk nowadays, I believe it, dude. I believe it. Why we get bubble guts? Yeah, I believe it. We're slowly being poisoned by our government. It's time to go homegrown. They do a lot of stuff to milk, right? Can you not drink milk straight from the tit? Like, is that, you can't do that? That's not okay. What I'm asking is, if I got a cow, right? If I got a cow, I milked it in a bucket. I couldn't just drink the bucket of milk. Like, do you have to do all the bull crap that they do to milk, like in the factory and stuff? Does that like do something to it? Make it safe or something? You can't just drink it straight out of the cow? That's a serious question, but that's a genuine question. Like, didn't they do that? They had to have done that back in the day, right? So why do they add all this bull crap in it now? Oh, everything's processed over here. There's probably so many unnecessary chemicals in our food that's either making us stupid or giving us cancer. One or the other, or both. That's not a fact, by the way. Don't get paranoid. I'm just saying. I'm just rambling. You can drink it straight? Okay, so why do they do all that then? Why do they put it through so much crap? Why do they put so much crap in it when you can just drink it straight? Just get it out of the tit and put it in a bottle and sell it. Why they gotta add a bunch of crap to it? What's the purpose? I need answers, man. I need answers. I need answers. Fuck it. We're gonna Google it. Wait, they heat it to kill bacteria. I think it's because if you store it and don't drink it immediately, maybe those bacteria will increase in number. So you can drink it straight. You just gotta drink it quick. So basically, they're like preservatives. Is that what they call it? They're making it to where it has a longer shelf life. Is that what you're saying? That's why they put all that crap in it. All right. Well, then I'm just gonna get a cow. I'll just get a. Well, no, I'm lactose intolerant. Fuck. Damn it. There goes that idea. Life is misery and suffering. Thought I was on something. Then I remembered. That I'm broken. I'm gonna get a cow one day. I was about to. I remembered that it doesn't matter because I can't drink milk anyway. Don't go to calm anxiety. Yeah, if you're going to calm anxiety like every other day, definitely a compulsion. There's nothing wrong with getting a clean bill of health or going to the doctor if you really feel like you need to. But if you're going to calm anxiety, I don't know, maybe something you could work on. Choice is always yours, but there's my 2 cents. There's my 2 cents. Ask the questions. I missed it. Olivia might be behind on stream. I think she's at the point in the stream where I was freaking out about wanting answers about milk. Can someone type that maybe she's behind? and those feelings happen, I feel like I struggle again, man. It's always, it's always going to come down to those two main keys. And I know people get sick of hearing that, but there's really no other way to put it. Like, there's no other way to elaborate it. It's always going to come down to those two main keys. Don't fall into the common trap of thinking you're missing something, because you're not. When I say practice that accepting inner voice instead of fighting with the thoughts and feelings, that's the practice, dude. And live in life, right? Not letting anxiety stop you. Live in life. It's always going to come down to those two main keys, because you're tackling the way that the brain learns in both ways. So the positive behaviors help teach the brain that there is no real danger, where the accepting inner voice is helping you not add fuel to the fire. So the alarms are able to go off without you adding to the alarms. So I know it's not the most satisfying answer to hear that over and over again, but it really is going to be the go-to practice every single time, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Well, it is a personal choice, Sherry, and if that's the route they wanted to go, that's fine. They could still benefit from learning about the keys, right? And they probably should. Like, you need to. It doesn't matter. You need to have these skills when we're talking about anxiety, whether you decided to go the med route or not. Like, you need to have these skills. So they could still highly benefit from these skills. They absolutely could. And, maybe even one day get off the medication if they wanted to, but it is a personal choice, and there's nothing wrong with that. But hopefully, hopefully one day they come around and decide that they could use these skills anyway, and that they need these skills anyway. So, when is podcast with Kate? Right now, if she'll come on here and sing. I'll go to the podcast channel on the Discord right now if Kate will come on here and sing. Or the Ferrari. I don't even know who that is. Growing your own vegetables, have a cow and some chicken for eggs. I want some chickens. Mint, Kate, I'll give one of you the podcast role right now for the Discord, and I'll meet you in there, and your voice will then be broadcast on the stream. Let's see who's online in the Discord. Nobody really. Nobody really. Mint said, "Oh my God, not me." What's wrong, Mint? What's wrong? You recommended somebody else. And Kate's not here, apparently. If Kate is here, and she'll come on here right this very second, no warning, I'll give her the podcast role right now, and I'll join the channel. Ghost, I'm going to give you the podcast role right now on the Discord. Meet me in the podcast channel that you'll be able to see once you get the role, and then you'll be live and everybody will be able to hear you. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. I'll meet you over there, Ghosty boy. I'll meet you over there. Then you'll have to start a new podcast stream. It wouldn't be like a serious podcast. If I'm going to have somebody on here to do a podcast stream, it would be a whole new stream. And I would actually have like decent questions ready to go. I'm sleep deprived at the moment, so if anybody comes on here now, it's not going to be a podcast. It's just going to have someone as a guest on the stream, I guess. Yeah, Ghost is out. Ghost is out. Who needs chickens when you got Ghost? Let's see. We'll get Ghost is typing in all chats. He's pissed. It's like, fuck you. We'll get where's Captain A? Where the hell is Captain A at today? I'm gonna tag him about 300 times and we'll see if we can get his attention. Okay, I sent Captain A 7 pings and told him to come on air with me, so we'll see. Kate, I think Kate's gone. She hasn't commented in a while, even before we brought up the whole coming on air thing. So I think she's gone. I've done one podcast so far, RN. It's got its own playlist. There's only one in there right now, and it's with Captain A, who I'm trying to get a hold of right this very second, but that's not going to work, because isn't he in school or something? What's today, Monday? I think he's probably in class right now, so that's not going to work. There goes that idea. Sanchez is probably, if I had to guess, around family and stuff. I don't know. He got kids, right? He's got kids. He's probably got his hands full right now. I don't know. I'm out of ideas. We'll go on Omegle. We'll go on Omegle. He ain't in school. It's Monday, though. He's got to be in school, right? Let's see who's in my personal Discord for like my friends that I game with and stuff. Is it on Apple Podcast? It's on the YouTube channel. Go to my playlist. You should be able to find it. As a matter of fact, let me see. Let me see if I can get a link. I don't know. Let me see if I can get a link. If I can even find it myself. Yeah, see, Sanchez is making pancakes, so he can't come on. Kate's gone. Captain A, I think, is in school. We're out of options, chat. It looks like we're going to have no guests today. Unless Mint wants to take one for the team. Unless Mint or who else? Ghost wants to take one for the team. I want to join, but on mute. Makes no sense. I agree with you there. I don't think Olivia's on the Discord. Alright. I'm sleep deprived anyway, so let's save this for a better day. I'm sure it'll happen soon. But anyway, until then, I'll go ahead and end this one here, guys. I'm going to get some rest. I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, I'll see you very, very soon. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Somebody's saying they want to. Wait, Sanchez wants to? I'm gonna let Sanchez take over. I'm gonna let Sanchez take over because I'm so sleepy, but if Sanchez wants to join the podcast channel, if I give him the role, then I'll just let him put on his own show for a little bit. And I'll mostly listen. Sanchez, do you want to? I can't even talk. Do you want to put on your own show for a minute? Wait, Captain A is here? Okay. Alright, Captain A has, where's the podcast role? Captain A has the podcast role, so he can join in here anytime that he wants to.
What's up?
Captain A, what is up? Can you hear me? He's not talking. Oh wait a minute. It's because my Discord mic's not set up correctly. Hold on a second. Alright. Captain A has. Wait, now I can hear myself out of his thing. Why isn't this working?
What's up? Hello? Hello? What the fuck?
Okay, hold on. I think I'm gonna have to switch to my crappy mic. That's okay. Alright. Speak. Say something.
Yes?
Alright, there's Captain A. We got Captain A. Now
In the house.
Now let's give podcast role to who else?
Who else?
Let's see. Can everyone in chat hear me? I had to switch to a different mic. Can everybody hear me? Hello, hello. There's a delay, so we'll have to wait for a second. Once chat confirms that they can hear me and you, can everybody hear me and Captain A? I'll then let you take completely over for the next half hour.
This stream is just getting better and better. Man.
Okay, everybody can hear us, I'm assuming. Yeah, they can hear us. We're good. So you go ahead and just take completely over. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet for like half an hour, right? And then I'm gonna let you do your thing. So
What the fuck?
here in like 5 seconds, right? I'm just gonna go completely silent. I want to mute actually. And this is your stream now. So you pick the topic.
You're crazy.
You pick the topic. Dude, I'm telling you, this is just it's easy. It's easy. I'll pick the topic for you. The topic is gonna be dating advice, and that's your, dating advice. That's your topic.
What the fuck?
So, all right, go ahead and take over. Do your thing.
What?
Do your thing. It goes to get it started.
No! No!
Dude, come on. It's easy.
No!
All
No!
right. Q&A. They're going to do a Q&A with you. That makes it even easier. So, if anybody's
Yes,
got any
Q&A.
questions, yeah, he wants to do a
Fucking
Q&A.
dating advice.
He doesn't want to do dating advice. Q&A though. He'll do a Q&A. So ask your questions, and Captain A will give you his opinion. So start it out. Questions. I'll let you. This will be your main thing. I'll just be your wingman here. But you're like the main dude right now.
Okay. What's your relationship like with a Red Bull?
There you go.
I don't drink it anymore. Sadly.
Doesn't drink it anymore. It says your current favorite accepting reminder. Well, that's a good one.
I use like not worth it and feel it to heal it.
Not worth it's a good one.
Yeah,
One of my
not worth
personal
it.
favorites.
Yeah, you have all as a personal favorites.
Have you ever tried Coke? Somebody asked.
Yes, many times. Oh, I'm kidding.
Kidding, he hasn't
But
tried Coke.
I tried cutting the worry.
Any tips on how to get a stain out of my t-shirt? What do you
I don't
think?
know. Maybe put it to like washing machine.
put it in the fucking washing machine. There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
Any tips on how to be a Chad?
To be a Chad.
Yeah, you answer the questions. I'll read them out to you.
You need to be you need to be master in acceptance, and then you will be Chad.
There you go. Master in acceptance.
But that's true.
How do you deal with this kind of public speaking when you were too scared to in the past?
I just don't. I'm just not scared anymore.
Just not scared anymore. It's that easy. Just don't be scared anymore.
Yes.
Easy, easy. How do you
How do
handle
you
the intense physical symptoms, Captain A?
handle?
What do you do?
That's really hard question because sometimes I don't.
Yeah, you're not perfect, but let's say
Not
on the
perfect, yeah.
days, let's say on the days where you think you do a fairly good job. What about on those days? How do you handle the physical symptoms?
Like how do I handle it? Like I don't know how to respond.
Yeah, well,
Like
what do you tell yourself? You're accepting inner voice, right? That's basically what they're getting at. So, strong, intense physical
yes.
symptoms. You're chilling. They're there. What do you tell yourself?
Mm,
How do you talk yourself through it? There you go. That's a good way to put it.
just like uh not worth it maybe, and not trying to like get rid of them in the moment.
Yeah, so some sort of grounding, accepting reminder, accepting inner voice, what we always come back to
Yes.
eventually, one way or the other. It's about
Yeah.
what you tell yourself about the moment, right? It's
Yeah,
not.
but the main thing is to like understand that it won't like go away immediately after you say like accepting inner voice, you know.
Yeah, so
It's just like
it's
and
not a
you don't need
pill.
to believe it, so
Yeah,
you don't even need to believe the inner voice. It's just like it will just ground you a little bit and it will get better and better.
yeah. So don't expect immediate benefits because that's not the point, right? That's not the point. The point is to be with the experience without
Mm,
the
without
negativity.
yeah.
It doesn't mean to be with the experience to get rid of it. It means to be with it without the negativity. Um, I have a problem. Something is eating my plants, some sort of bug. What do I do? That's your next question.
Mm, kill the bug.
Kill the
Is it
bug.
that hard?
Duh. Kill the bug, Sanchez. There you go. Um, any tips on how to? Okay. Any tips on how to kill Mike and get away with it? I'm just
Uh,
reading the questions.
uh, I don't know. Mike is good guy. Don't kill him.
You got shut down on that one, Ghost. Mike is a good guy. We don't kill Mike. Big chest pressure all day. What do you do?
Yeah, I have it even now.
What do you do?
I have it even.
Do you do
I'm
nothing?
just like I do nothing
I do
basically.
nothing. There. I mean, there you
And
go.
talking to you and having it like in the background, even like if it's like whole day, I just like still like need to continue living.
There you go. So do nothing. It's not about what you do, but
Yeah.
more about what you
You
don't
don't
do.
even like. I, I think with the reminders like you can use them, but like if you don't talk your to like if you don't talk negatively to yourself, which most of you do, then I will recommend using the
Donation.
Uh,
the inner voice.
oh shit! I just jerked my
Thank
wires out. Hey, we got a $3 podcast tip. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Um, let's see.
Thank you for the tip.
Hey, see that feels good, doesn't it? So you can start your own channel. I will subscribe to a Captain A channel. And what happens is, all right, the
When I
first
heal, I can make many channels.
yes, many. Forget just one. You can make several and
I, I
uh
can make like 60 of them.
you can make 60 channels. Yes, I'll subscribe
Yeah,
to every
for
one of them.
games, for anxiety advice, like 20 of them, you know.
Dude, it gets so easy. Okay, like the first uh well, I did videos for a long time, as you know. Those are a little less nerve-wracking, right? Because it's all pre-recorded, whatever. Nobody's watching you live. So, but even those were still nerve-wracking for me at first. The live streams, though, are a different story. I understand they can be nerve-wracking because it's live, but it gets easy. It gets so easy. So basically, the way you go about it is just literally talk to talk to the everyone watching like they're your friends. Like no different. Like if you were just in like your personal friend Discord with a bunch of your
Exactly.
friends. I mean, it's no different.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've ever watched live streams where people try to be like really, really proper, but it's hard for me to watch those because you can tell they're just not being themselves. And it's difficult to watch. But
Yep.
people love you for you, Captain A. You are a Chad and you are a man of the people, and they enjoy having you around. They especially enjoy your gifts. You're well known for being a person who
Give.
reuses gifts.
Yep.
Why is that? That's my question. Now I'm going to ask the questions. Why do you find like two or three
I don't know.
particular gifts and then use them for
I
about
just find it funny.
6 months straight before you choose a different one?
Yep. I just find them funny.
You've had a few. You've had
I-
the what's
I'm
the
lazy.
what's the dude's name from Lord of the Rings? You're always posting his, or you used to. You don't anymore. Uh,
I don't know.
no, that's not Lord of the Rings. It's Harry Potter, right? Dobby.
Yeah, Dobby.
There you go. Yeah, that's the one I remember.
Dobby.
Next question. What do I do about thinning hair? What does he do about his thinning hair?
What's spinning hair?
Thinning hair, like he's losing his hair.
He's losing his hair. Is
Yeah.
he worrying too much?
Are you worrying too much? Because that might be making your hair fall out. So,
But
and
that's true.
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Technically, you're not wrong. Maybe that's it, Sanchez. Are you worrying too much? Maybe that's why your hair's falling out. Mike
Or
says
maybe you are
that you
too,
steal the
or
gifts.
maybe you are too old.
Or maybe you're just old, Sanchez.
Yes, you are just old. And
when
there isn't
I
any help for you anymore.
when I said be yourself, maybe a little bit of a filter. Um, Mike wants to know why you steal the gifts from other people. You don't find them yourself. That's what Mike claims. Is that true?
Uh, what?
Are you stealing the gifts that you're reusing?
Mm, Maybe. Sometimes.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe sometimes I steal them.
he's stealing the gifts. There you go. It's official. Captain A steals the gifts that he uses. He admitted it. Do you remember who Captain A is? Of course. Of course. We still have to play Raft together at some point. Because I told you I'd play
Yeah.
Raft with you like 2 months ago.
Yes.
Everything got crazy there for a minute.
So any more questions? Give them.
Any more questions? Give them now.
Yes. So
Kate said, yes, he does steal our gifts. Ghost has busted. See, what you want to do right now, you've got the chat calling you out on stealing gifts or whatever. What you want to do right now is either say that you'll be right back, right, and let the subject change naturally, or you can
yeah,
just
you will just
selective.
turn on yeah.
You can
Just
selectively
turn on
read.
the scene. Just turn on the scene with BRB, right?
Yeah, either go to the BRB screen, or you can just become a selective reader and choose just to pretend that those comments don't exist.
How to be better at League of Legends.
That Captain A is not the guy you want to ask on how to be better at League of Legends. He's
Yeah,
terrible.
and maybe start playing.
He's terrible at League. He's terrible. I stomp Captain A in League every time we play. Every time. Alright, Captain A, I have to get something to drink. So, you are quite literally on your own for a minute.
For sure.
Just, keep chat alive, because that's another really delicate thing, right? When you're streaming, if you're seriously thinking about starting your own channel, that's another delicate thing. You got to fill the gaps, right? So if you go silent for too long, chat's gonna go silent. If chat goes silent, people starts leaving, and when people start leaving,
Yeah.
it's dead stream, and you can't really revive a dead stream. That's the worst part
Or
about it.
just turn on BRB screen and.
So you're gonna have to fill the blanks here. Normally what I do is just pull shit out of your ass, dude. It doesn't matter. Talk about the weather. Bring up something that happened in your day to day. Anything to
Yeah,
get chat
weather is.
talking.
There is a storm now.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about the storm. Anything to get chat talking. Don't kill the stream's already killed, because I killed it on myself forever ago.
Oh, you killed it for
talking
me.
about corn and shit. Stream's been dead, but don't kill it anymore. I'll be right back. When I get back, I want to see like a peak, like 40 people in here. All right.
Get your bubbles. What's joy bubbles? Oh, like when things suddenly just feel nice. Yeah, I do. Like I never had them before, but now I'm like sometimes I just go somewhere and I just start to laugh so much out of nowhere, and like I don't even know the reason why I'm laughing, and everything seems so joyful for a while. Yes, exactly. I get this. But after I just go to the normal self again, to the sensitized self. But I think it's like the pauses. Everyone, let's sleep. You need to say something to me, guys.
I'm back. I'm back. No, that's a rookie mistake. You can't do that.
I can.
You can't tell chat to tell something to you. You gotta tell something to them. And if it's not interesting enough, they'll just die, and then the stream will be dead. Come on, save it.
Oh.
Save it.
I died then. I died.
Say something.
There is nothing to say.
Find something. Doesn't matter. Anything.
I don't know. I'm not a good streamer then.
I love putting you on the spot.
I'm not a good streamer then.
You're a great streamer. I would watch all your streams.
No.
Yeah, I would.
But I will keep that job to you then.
What?
I will keep the job to you.
No, I think this should be a regular thing. I think you should come on for majority of my streams. What do you think? Every other stream.
I don't know, I'm too boring. I don't have nothing to talk about. What's your second?
What's your social security number?
We don't have that here.
Oh yeah, that's right. What do you how does that work over there? Do you just what do you get, like a stamp?
What is even SSN like? Like you use it for like making credit cards or what? Like I mean banks.
Identification.
What?
Like identification.
Oh.
You know.
So everyone has the number.
What number you are in the herd.
What? Oh, so it's like in the ID?
I forgot that you live in like where is it that you live?
Check.
Czech. Is that how you say that? Czech Republic?
Yes.
The Czech Republic. Can you teach me how to say something in what's your language called? Czech.
Czechish, I think.
Can you teach me how to say something in Czechish? Like what's up? How do you say what's up in Czechish?
Ciao.
Ciao.
Yes.
Is that really how you say it?
Yes. Ciao.
Ciao.
Or ahoy.
So you just say one word and that means two? What's up? Ciao?
Jak se máš?
What are you saying?
Jak
Ciao?
se máš means how are you? So
Wait,
that technically can
say
be
that again?
what's up. Jak se máš?
Zach Shamash?
Yes.
Zach.
Jak
Jacques Shamash. Okay.
yes.
Jacques Shamash. Ciao.
It's not Jack,
Jacques.
but Jack. Yak.
Jacques. Jacques Shamash. Mint taught me how to curse in Swedish.
What about Swedish?
Yeah, Swedish.
It's so bad.
What do you mean it's so bad?
It's so bad.
Like it's a hard language to learn?
No, no one likes Swedish.
Why? What's your reasoning?
Sadly,
What's your reasoning?
no one likes Swedish.
Yeah, I heard that part, but why don't they like Swedish?
I don't know. It's just bad. Sorry.
Five fan.
Now Mint will say, "Oh my God, what the fuck?"
Five fan.
What's 5N?
According to Google Translate, it means fuck you in Swedish.
Oh,
Five fan.
yeah. Maddie really knows how to get me talking. Yeah, that's true.
Well, what does she do to get you talking?
I don't know. Just random grandma things.
Did you say random grandma things?
Yeah, grandma things, yeah.
Nice.
What's the deal with the war Russia and Ukraine?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows, dude?
That not worth to worry about it, I think.
It's definitely not worth worrying about it. What is that gonna accomplish?
Yeah, by the way, I want to like say something to the stream. Like obsessions about anything is bad. Like about like anything, because it just taxes your nerves.
No, you're not wrong. Obsession does nothing for you. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it doesn't matter like what the obsession is about. Like it doesn't matter if it's like girl. or
I mean,
like
you're not wrong. I mean,
theories, or it
that
will just touch your nerves.
that sounds like cliche advice on the surface, but you'd be surprised how many people lose sight of the fact that obsession is pointless. Because while you're in it, it feels like you're going somewhere, right? It feels like you're accomplishing something. It feels like you're doing something, figuring something out, or getting closer to some sort of answer. And that's just not the case. So,
Yep. Because everything can get into rabbit hole.
well, anything can put you in the rabbit hole. I mean, not
Yes.
just worry about anxiety,
Not.
but
Yeah. Yep. Anything.
anything can suck you into a rabbit hole. And what happens is a chain reaction. You can start on one subject and end up in a completely different
Matti.
subject. Maddie is not present.
Matti. Matti. I call her like that. Matti. Yeah.
Uh, Ghost is sending out a lot of pings to get people on the stream when
So
he
I think
himself
anything that
refuses.
you, yeah, I think anything that you think about too much is not good. Like maybe when it's like maths or something that not needs some like brain and some thinking to like use, or like when you learn languages, that's something else, you know. But like that's when you like using the brain in the present moment. Like it's not like thinking out of the box, if I want to say,
Yeah,
you know.
so
It's like basically when you think about like maths or like language or something. It's just like in the present you are you are like, I don't know how to describe, you know, but it's not stressful like thinking about things from like past and future, because that doesn't have like any, because like when you are like solving a math equation or something, you know the like you know the result, you can like get the result, so then you will stop like not the obsession but the thinking, you know. but but when there is like some problem that you want to solve, like imaginary problem, then it doesn't like have that like directly something that will tell you, yes, this is the right thing. So
yeah.
you just keep thinking and thinking
So don't
and
obsess
taxing.
over something that doesn't have an answer.
Yep.
Use your mind to problem solve if there's a problem that can be solved, but don't use your mind to try to solve something that can't be solved because it may not even be real to begin with, and you can't find an answer to something that is not real to begin with, and may never be real to begin with. There is no answer to those sorts of obsessions, but some things you can solve with your problem solving mind. I think you gave the example of like mathematics. There's a clear answer that you can come to with that, but a lot of things you can't. So that was good. That was good.
Yep.
Good advice, Captain A. You're becoming a pro at this. You really are.
Yeah, but still stuck sometimes.
That's okay. Just because you know how to do something doesn't mean that
Doesn't mean.
you're always doing it, right?
Yep.
It's like I knew pretty much the Dr. Claire Weeks book, Hope and Help for Your Nerves,
Yeah,
from
like
front to
yeah,
back for
and you still
years.
felt like shit.
Yeah, because I was still had a very negative inner voice and was not living life. The two main keys. So just because I knew the knowledge doesn't mean that I was perfect at it. But then when I decided to dedicate, it was a practice, and that's the stage you're in. You're practicing. So old habits die hard, and just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you do it. I mean, we're all
Mhm.
guilty of that, right? Even outside of anxiety, like we all know that certain things are bad for us, but it doesn't mean that we still indulge when we know we shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
So that's just
But the main like trick of
life.
anxiety that like sometimes it's like it seems so easy to like not like, I don't know, not add to worry, and next day it's like the thoughts come so rapidly and
Hmm.
like in like so like connected way that you are already like lost
Hmm.
until you like
Yeah.
catch
Yeah.
yourself or something. You know what I mean? Like
What we call
you are,
those difficult
mm,
retraining days.
yep.
And those are tough. Tough days happen. You could be killing it
I
for
think you
four
can
or
have
five
even
days,
like
but
tougher days. Yeah, I think you can have even like tougher days than you had when you was like worrying all the time because like you are just like getting rid of the like safety nets, you know, and you just like trying like to be with it without like any compulsions. So it can feel like you are doing something wrong. That's the thing.
yeah,
But
it's
you know,
tricky, isn't it? You can definitely feel like you're doing something wrong, and that's why I tell people all the time not to base their progress off the way that they feel. So don't base it off the way that you feel. Base it off of what? What should you base it off of? You should base it off of whether or not you're using the accepting inner voice and living your life. You should base it off of whether you're using the two main keys or not whether you're feeling great or not. So many people make that mistake. So,
yeah,
uh,
but it's very hard sometimes.
yeah, I mean, it is hard not to base progress off the way that you feel, because you know, human beings want that instant gratification. So,
Yeah,
um,
honestly.
not only did I learn that through Dr. Claire Weeks, and also my biggest source was my own experience, but I've also read that in other books. I can't think of the titles right off the bat, but I've heard in so many different places that you don't base recovery off the way that you feel. You base it off of whether you're doing the practice in the moment. And what's the practice? The accepting inner voice and living your life. So you've got to get into the habit of basing it off that and not basing it off of how you feel. Or what happens, Captain A? What happens if you base it off the way that you feel?
You just get back to the worrying
There you go. Bada bing.
because like yeah, it will take time and work.
That's like you said, that's the trickiest part about the whole thing is that
Yeah,
you
but it can feel like you are doing something wrong,
yep,
even
yep,
like because you just like sometimes you even like really feel worse than like
yeah,
before you
yeah,
even did that all, you
yep,
know.
yep.
Yeah,
A lot
but
of people
like
fall short there.
yes.
A lot of people fall short there.
But the thing is, like, you can't get worse, like, when you already know that you are just not worrying that much like you were, like,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
past. So
exactly.
basically, you are even like if you just knew that you are like worrying, but if you knew that you are worrying, that will like already like help you like to like be a little like aware of it and not edit that much, even when you like edit.
Yeah,
So I don't think you can just get like worse being more aware. That's impossible. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's true. Um, I can't. I don't even know how many times I've done videos or streams on the topic of treating acceptance like a pill because you can have that accepting. Like a lot of people don't understand that you can have that accepting inner voice, and you can be living your life, and you can be doing great at that. Like you can be on the
even when
ball
you
with
feel like
that,
total shit, yeah,
but you just feel totally horrible. So that's the
yeah,
thing. You cannot have that instant gratification because the alarm
yeah,
takes time to go down.
and
So
mhm.
you just can't have it. You cannot obtain the instant gratification. So it's like,
And that's the main problem of like humans. They just want to feel good and then do things, you know.
yeah, and it's
They
got to
just
be the
they
opposite.
just like they drink and then they do things, you know,
Yeah,
because they feel better. Like they calm their nerves and then they don't feel nothing, like anxiety, nothing, and then they do things, you know.
yeah, and it needs to be reversed, doesn't it? You need
Yeah, it
to
needs to be.
do the things, live, and have the accepting inner voice, and you're probably still gonna feel like crap during, but you can't let that A suck you back into worry and B have you looking for the missing piece to the puzzle because there is no missing piece and the more you look for it the more you're worrying and then you're doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. So it's just
But I think those conversations help the most. I think
yeah,
because
yeah,
The people literally like find themselves in that, I think. So
Oh yeah, I guarantee almost everyone in here probably can relate to everything that you just said. I mean, it's the trickiest part of the anxiety cycle because if you could wake up and say, okay, nothing but positive, accepting inner voice, any thought or feeling that comes, I'm just telling myself I can handle it. I'm living my life. If you could just wake up and do that, and then you felt great, nobody would be here.
mm, yeah,
Nobody would be here. It'd be the end of the
yeah,
story. But people don't do it because they don't stick to it, and the reason they don't stick to it is because you got to
because
do
they
it while
feel
you feel
worse
like
or
crap.
yeah,
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 you got to do it while you feel horrible, and that's the tricky part. How can, you know, how can you get yourself to build consistency and dedication to the two keys, which is the way the brain learns, and not get discouraged by the way that you feel? That's what you got to work on. It's what you got to figure out.
yep. Rinse and repeat.
I mean, the best way to build consistency is to remind yourself that, well, in my case, it was to remind myself that my brain is learning the most right now because I feel horrible. So that was like a motivator, right? It was like, it was no longer why I feel horrible. It was a question of, oh, wait, I feel horrible. So this is a great opportunity. So for
Yeah,
me, it was like that. That's what motivated me to keep doing the two main keys that, live and get shit done and have the accepting inner voice. That was my motivator. Just remembering that anxiety learns why anxiety is turned on, which is something I try to preach all the time. So many people fall off the wagon for that reason.
yeah. I can like say example when I want to like go somewhere, and then when I think about it too much, and when I'm anxious, I just won't go. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and that's issue because like I think too much before I'm doing something
yeah,
because like
yeah,
that's still my learned like behavior,
yeah.
and yeah, it needs to be retrained.
Isn't that, you know, I mean, that's just the punch in the gut of anxiety. It's the biggest hurdle that people face is that they've got to do the advice and they've got to do it while feeling horrible. And that's where so many people fall off the wagon because if I'm doing the advice and I don't feel great, then I'm just going to go back to the worry and I'm going to go back to the compulsions and I'm going to go back to trying to find what I'm missing. And so many people fall off right there. You just got to find what you got to find your inner voice that keeps you on track regardless of the way that you feel. You really got to search for it.
Yes, and the inner voice won't like make you feel good. That's the thing. Like sometimes it
Yeah,
can, but like it's sometimes like it's just a blank words, you know. But
yeah, it'll feel blank. It won't have much of a impact on the way that you feel because again, it takes time for the alarm to die down. So it's like the inner voice is not there to magically do anything. It's there to keep you on track with consistency. Is all it's
yeah,
there to do.
just
Um,
remind yourself
It's
that
there to
that you
keep
are
you
on the
consistent. Yeah,
yeah.
keep you consistent and stop you from adding fuel to the fire. That's what it's there for. It's not there to work any sort of
Yeah,
magic.
it's not here like to get rid of the feelings like
Right.
by it that it will go away when you say it or something.
It's there not to add to them, but it's not there to
Yes.
take them away. Not at least not in the moment, right? Like it'll add up over time. But yeah. So the inner voice keeps you on track, and it keeps you from fueling the fire, but it's not there to take anything away. It's there to not add to it. Um, so yeah, dude, that is the biggest reason that people fall so many times. They don't dedicate to the two keys because it's not an instant process, and that's really what it comes down to. But I think we both know, Mister Captain A, that
Yes.
no matter how many times you slip up and go back to bad old habits, you can get back on board. Like at any given moment, you can say, "Hey, I'm going to go do something productive," and while I do it, I'm going to have an accepting inner voice. Like at any second, you can make that decision, and hopefully one day you make that decision so often that you fall less and less, and then it adds up.
Yes.
That's the goal. I don't really expect perfection. I expect people to fall and fall and fall and fall, but I expect them to get back up more than they fall eventually, so it starts to
But
outweigh.
eventually you will just like learn something from the falls.
Learn something, and most importantly, you start to reduce how many times you do fall. And by fall, I mean
Yes.
go back to bad habits. So hopefully it's just a reduction of how many times you fall over time. But that's all you can do. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. You just gotta keep practicing.
Yes. But
Hopefully the
sadly,
consistency
sometimes
goes
it
up.
it will feel sometimes very uncomfortable. Like it's sometimes like I don't want to see I will want to like say unbearable, but sometimes it's really like intense
Yeah,
and
it'll seem unbearable,
yes, yeah, it will seem unbearable, yeah,
but
but it
it
is.
never is unbearable.
Yes,
Um, so
it
yeah,
is
that
doable.
was that was good. That was
It's,
good, Captain A. Dude,
yeah.
I am so sleepy. So sleepy.
Are you? How much
Yeah.
time is in?
Uh, the stream got disconnected at one point. I think I've been streaming for 2.5 hours now. I haven't
So it's
slept
like
yet.
11 or
It's 11.
yeah.
Ugh. We should hang out in VC for a bit,
Okay.
and we'll do that. And then anybody who wants to join us can join us. But we'll go ahead and wrap up this stream because I am like about to just pass out, guys. Not gonna lie, that was really good, dude. That was actually ended on a really high note. So awesome. Hopefully this stream doesn't upload in 2 parts, but if it does, I won't delete the second stream. I'll just title it like Captain with Captain A or something. So we'll just upload it like that. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Switch to VC for any of you that are in the Discord that want to join. I think, are you joining me in VC, Captain A, for a minute?
Yes.
Okay, so me and Captain A will be over in the VC for a little bit. If anybody wants to join over there, but we're gonna go ahead and end this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Captain A, do you
Bye
have
bye.
any